We have a new leadership in Nepal, which is a break from the past. With me is the Foreign Minister of Nepal. Sir, my first question to you is about what's the vision of the new leadership? We have a new Prime Minister, Balin Shah. We have seen a few policies as well. But if you can give our viewers an overview about what is your vision for Nepal?
We went to election with two broad sort of policy proposals. One was around good governance and the other one was fast economic growth. We want to get to a point where in the next 10 years, in real terms, our GDP doubles. So we're currently about $1,400 per person per capita income in Nepal. So in the next 10 years, even in real terms, we want to see that go to about $3,000. So from today's least developed country status to we want to eventually get to a place where we're seen as a respectable middle income country. That's the sort of vision that's driving. But for that, we plan on working on broadly on good governance. And good governance, we're taking two-pronged approach. One is around and very strong anti-corruption position. Second is around reforming Nepal's processes so that it's easy for people to do businesses, for us to provide services, government provide services are digitalized. So those are the things, so it becomes easy for anyone to access government services. So those are two broad things that we're going to do on good governance side. On economic reform, Nepal has a lot of potential in different sectors, whether it's about tourism, infrastructure, hydropower. So unleashing that two potentials of Nepal.
In terms of foreign policy, what will be your focus areas? What will be your key elements of the foreign policy? A new government, a new foreign policy?
Policy as such, the Prime Minister the other day was in addressing the diplomats in Nepal had said new does not mean discontinuity. So in terms of foreign policy, Nepal's foreign policy, we take it, Nepal's constitution itself mandates several things. Of course, territorial integrity, protection of sovereignty, non-alignment, independent foreign policies are fundamental values to all of us. So our foreign policy will be definitely guided by those principles. But in terms of our relationship with our neighbors and other partners around the world, broadly that would be linked to our national interest, economic growth. Those would be the sort of the pursuit would be based on our national interest and ensuring that we are growing economically as fast as we can.
Specifically about India, the India foreign policy, what are we looking at? We saw the conversation between the top leadership as well after the election results were out. If you can perhaps detail on that, any high-level visits. You coming from Delhi, of course, but any high-level visits, Prime Minister Balin Shah coming to India, anything if you can talk about the India foreign policy?
As soon as the election were held, Prime Minister Modi spoke with our leaders, our party chair Ravi Lamichhane and current Prime Minister Balendra Shah. Since then, we have had multiple conversations at different levels. I also had the opportunity to held a discussion with EM yesterday in Mauritius itself. That was our first in-person meeting where we discussed a variety of issues of our bilateral relationship. But broadly, what we discussed mostly was as a new government. I mean, it's been just about 2 weeks that we came in position. So we're also trying to set up our priorities as government on very specific things like the projects. Nepal and India have several almost like 40 different bilateral mechanisms that we're engaged with. So on that, our first priority would be to internally look into our own priority and then pursue. So that was the agreement between AM yesterday, Dr. Jaishankar and I was to first for us to prioritize internally, and then based on those priorities, we'll start several high-level visits. We have already received an invitation. Our Prime Minister has already received invitation on his congratulatory note to our Prime Minister. Prime Minister has accepted, but in terms of actual time, our mechanisms will eventually decide the best possible time.
Sir, here at the Indian Ocean Conference, you've already made your speech, but essentially how do you see this conference important for Nepal, and also how important Indian Ocean is for Nepal?
What, as you heard in the speech also, we are a landlocked country, but a lot of our trade and goods are supplied through Indian Ocean. We are part of UN Convention, so we also have rights, even as a landlocked country, right to access the sea. And also, we are a Himalayan nation, so we see that with a broader climate change, the communities in Himalayas, like ourselves, and the ocean is linked together. So, I was mentioning, as the glaciers melt, that eventually contributes in rising sea levels. That also means that because of the climate change, our Himalayan communities' life is threatening, so is the life of people in coastal areas. So they are so linked together, and we must see not as a very isolated. Ecosystems are so closely linked with each other that when we're talking about ocean, we should not forget the challenges of landlocked countries like Nepal and the challenges that people in Himalayan region in Nepal are facing.
In your speech, you made an interesting point about the West Asia crisis impacting Nepal. Nepali nationals have also died. How has the West Asia crisis impacted your country? And was this point of conversation with the Indian External Affairs Minister?
Nepal we have big diaspora in Gulf region. Almost 2 million people work in the region. Unfortunately, when UAE is attacked, one of the Nepali citizens lost lives. 27 were injured. Those who were injured are now safe. We're in constant touch with the government in the Gulf region. Beyond immediate impact that our citizens have experienced in the region, several other issues are prominent. One is rising fuel cost that has several impact. We are very remittance dependent economy, so worsening of the crisis could further impact our macroeconomic stability. Fertilizer shortage that would impact our farm. So yes, we did with Foreign Minister of India, we did discuss some of these issues and potential challenges and working together to solve this.
On that note, thank you so much, sir, for speaking to WION. It was lovely speaking to you here in Mauritius.
Thank you, sir.
With video journalist Joy Siddhansibal for WION in Mauritius.